And
now we have the next one with the petition.
the next one is number 24.
From France. Mr. Tagat,
Is there, yes,
who is waiting.
welcome. Please. You can sit down if you feel like that. Thank you.
But I think it's okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, it's okay. Mesdames,
Ladies and gentlemen, parliamentarians, I would like to thank the Petitions Committee of the European Parliament for placing my petition on the agenda of today's meeting. You have at heart that the principles of the European should be respected in the wake of 2 world wars. I would also like to thank the Secretariat of the Petitions Committee, which, despite all the work on its plate, has done its best to deal with my petition. It's done some sterling work. I would like to thank all MEPs who have shown an interest in my petition and have supported it. The Petitions Committee has given me the opportunity today to speak on behalf of a number of pharmacists working in the UK, but do not benefit from the right of establishment for when it comes to working in pharmacies that have been up running for less than 3 years. We're talking about second-class pharmacists here. There is a law in the UK which prevents all European pharmacists from working in a new pharmacy if he did not get his diploma in the UK, regardless of how long he's been registered in the UK. This outdated law has been applied to new pharmacies across the board. This means that no European pharmacy in charge of a pharmacy for over 10 years he would be made redundant if the pharmacy is transferred 10 metres down the road. On the 27th of October 1998, after being unemployed for a number of months, with six children back then, now 14 children now, I made a request to work in the pharmacy sector. In 1998, I became manager of a pharmacy. In 1999, I was designated pharmacist of the year in France. They said that my example was a solution to endemic unemployment in this area. I became a freelance pharmacist in 1999, but I then suffered from the discrimination of the UK law. On the 11th of May 2007, I was informed that my French diploma didn't enable me to become a manager of a new pharmacy. And on the 30th of December 2008, I was working ASDA in Swindon. I was told I couldn't be a manager there because the pharmacy had only been open for 2 years and 8 months. I challenged this ruling. I challenged the restrictive interpretation of this law, which is a transposition of a European directive. I took this to the High Court in 2009. I said that the law should be revised and that I should receive damages and that the matter should be referred to the ECJ pursuant to Article 234. On the 14th of October 2009, the UK courts decided that no legislation had been infringed, and that the matter wouldn't be referred to an appeal court. They said that this had already been referred to the ECJ by the Irish court, but I believe that the Irish case was different, because we're talking about a pharmacist who has worked for over 10 years in the UK, and this is in contravention of EU legislation. I've been asked to pass my complaint on to the European Commission. So in 2009, I lodged a complaint to the Commission against the UK because the matter there'd been a refusal to refer the matter to the ECJ. On the 11th of June 2007, Barroso said that in such cases there are two options: either refer the matter to the Commission under Article 226, and then the matter can be referred to the ECJ, or refer the matter to the national courts. But the national courts have not done their work, and therefore the only other option open to me is to refer this matter to the ECJ in order to seek damages. On the 7th of July 2009, the Commission said that EU legislation was not being interpreted properly, and that the restrictions should be evaluated on the basis of Article 43 of the Treaty. In its response to the Commission, the UK said that its restrictive interpretation was correct. It then made additional comments stating that the Commission said that it would get in touch with the UK authorities to clarify its position. What is happening now is that European citizens are being left to fend for themselves. We are powerless. We are suffering moral and financial prejudice. I took this to the Labour Court in 2009. But the decision of this tribunal will depend on the outcome of this petition here before the committee. So I would call on the Commission and the European Parliament to refer this matter to the ECJ in order to render justice to EU nationals. Thank you very much. Long live France, long live the European Union, long live the UK.
Thank you so much. Mr. Mihok from the Commission, could you include the presentation of the next issue as well, because they seem to be identical or similar? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. In fact, the two petitions we've got today are very similar and deal with exactly the same issue. So the reply we can give to Mr. Teller's petition also applies for the second petition. I don't think we need to go into detail of petitions that have been presented in detail by Mr. Targa. All I need to say is something about the legal framework involved here, in particular the argument that's been brought forward by the British authorities they are using Article 21, Paragraph 4 of the Directive on Recognition of Professional Qualifications to refuse access to someone holding a qualification from the EU to management of a pharmacy in the UK. This Article 21, Paragraph 4 of the Directive is in the part of the Directive dealing with automatic recognition. Derogation contained in that article should be interpreted as being a derogation to automatic recognition. This derogation cannot therefore derogate from other recognition mechanisms as set out in the directive, and it certainly cannot limit the rights of citizens as they flow from the treaty. The Commission therefore considers that the situation presented by Mr. Taga is very problematic. We've already taken up contact with the British authorities and we're continuing to analyse the case. And if need be, we will certainly take the matter to the Court of Justice, if need be. But if not, if there's no infringement of community law, then we will simply close the case. Thank you.
Mrs. Greeny.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Well, it's really very upsetting when we read about the petition and hear what the petitioner has just said. From the Commission's point of view, I don't really know what they're waiting for before taking the matter to the Court of Justice. In fact, you've talked to the British authorities on several occasions and you keep getting the same reply, and I think you'll continue to do so. So what I would recommend is not to wait any longer and refer the matter to the Court of Justice. We are here, after all, to ensure that the European market works properly, so we shouldn't accept this kind of thing. At the moment, what we say to young people is, well, you can go and work anywhere within Europe and not remain or stay at the border of your member state, and yet we're encountering situations like this. And as well as the lack of recognition, the gentleman is in a difficult situation. He has experienced damage because he's unemployed and he has to support a family, so he's suffered as a result. I don't think this kind of thing can go on. I'm really shocked by this petition, and I think we should ask the Commission to take the matter directly to the Court of Justice.
I will start by saying this is for me a clear case of discrimination. First and most of all, it's about discrimination. Discrimination based on something which is against the very spirit of the European Union, the free circulation of people, of goods, of capitals. Something which is highly advocated by London too. The second second comment. I do remember that 2 years ago, when discussing the petition of a member of the Spanish Jockey Club, do you remember? He was complaining very tough and with very good reasons against the Spanish rules, not laws, which are impeding a British trainer to become member of the Royal Spanish Jockey Club for not being trained in Spain, but in UK. And for good reasons, I repeat you, they proposed that Spain will obey to the European rules. But now we discover that this is not equal for United Kingdom when it's about pharmacians coming from the continent to work in United Kingdom. So first it's about discrimination, and that discrimination should be penalized, just penalized. The second comment, the second idea, I do understand one of the reasons why opting out for the Chart of Human Rights, because the discrimination is also something close to the human rights. But yet, United Kingdom should be obliged to obey on the European rules and laws, because tomorrow a British doctor will be impeded to practice his qualification, his profession in Romania or in France or in Germany, and then what will remain from our Europe? This is protectionism, this is promoting national commitments instead of promoting European values and commitments. And I again find the explanation of the European Commission and a very, very weak commitment to react that this should be changed. You should react in a consistent way, because we should not wait additional 4 years like in the case with Spetses, then London to react and eventually to change his law. It's just unacceptable, and first should be UK to change the law, and second, this case of discrimination to be penalized in a proper manner, because if other countries will do the same, I can imagine that this eventually smaller country will be automatically put in the corner and obliged to behave properly. So it's just unacceptable, and it's your first duty, European Commission, to redress the situation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bostinaru. So to make it concrete, according to what Mrs. Bruni has suggested, we should ask from the Commission to send this case to the European Court of Justice, and we should also write a very strict letter to the British Ministry of Education, asking for, explanations once again.